What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Planners and Wine. My name is Myra.
And I am Meg. Welcome back, y'all.
Yay, welcome back to yet another week. We
Mm-hmm.
have been in y'all feed like every week in February.
Doing a whole lot, but it's Black
Yeah,
History Month, and we are
right.
Black History.
Support
So
Black businesses by continuing to listen to this podcast
there we go.
and
Exactly.
join the
Exactly.
Patreon.
Yes. And speaking of the Patreon, we have our Patreon peeps in the building with us for our monthly live episode taping. We have been chopping it up for the past like almost 40 minutes, spilling a little behind the scenes tea. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want a part of that, definitely join our Patreon now. The Discord is so lit, and we talk about all the things over there. You get lots of bonus content plus access to all of our past bonus content. And the only rule is just don't be an asshole.
Legit.
That's it.
We have a whole channel for
Mm-hmm.
just that one rule, just in
Yeah.
case you need
Yeah.
to, have a reference for it.
Truly. Exactly. But yeah, y'all. Patreon crew, how has y'all's weeks been? Let us know in the chat. Myra, how has your week been?
Oh, it has been a busy week. Y'all know I have a pup over here now, and I think she got to something. So we have
Oh.
been cleaning up a lot of messes. So love that for us. But
Do y'all love her yet? Like, does she feel like a part of the family yet?
well, not to Ashton. I think I
Really?
am the human. The
You
men
are
are
her
the
human.
spare humans. Yeah.
Period.
Um,
Valid.
I'm still trying to work through. I'm not used to having a pet that sheds as much as she does. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
still used
Mm-hmm.
to that because I'm like, you're so cute, but I want to hold you from like this far away so you do not
So
get
you don't have
on my
any hair
clothes.
all over you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. That's valid.
But it's been fun. It's been fun. Work has been kind of crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
another week in February with 70-degree weather one day and snow the next.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's been crazy over here too. We ended up having a kind of expected snow week. So
Mhm.
I only had to go to work 1 out of 5 days this week. Mason only had to go to school 1 out of 5 days this week because of the holiday that we don't acknowledge that was on Monday. And yeah, and we got snow. So thank you,
Mhm.
Tennessee, for finally giving us some solid snow and some snow days. It's been glorious just hanging out.
Did y'all get to
Yeah.
play in the snow?
We did.
Yeah,
On the first
that's
day,
good.
yeah, we played in it. Yeah. It was very fun. Very cold, but very fun. And I
Yeah.
also have been getting used to having a pet that sheds because Callie, our dog, does not shed at all, and it's been
Hmm.
such a luxury. But Charlie, our cat, absolutely sheds a ton, and it's been hell on earth. So
Hell on earth. I was not prepared for this.
nobody talks about it enough.
No, at first I thought
No.
something was wrong with her because it was so much. But I
Mm-hmm.
also heard like winter is they shed even
Yes, they
more
do
in the
shed
winter
more
time.
in winter.
So
Yeah, yeah.
love
Every
that.
time, like Callie and Charlie, they have their little, cat dog tuffles every now and then, and it'll just be hair just flying up, and it's literally just his. It's literally just his.
Oh, do y'all brush him at all or just have him take care of it?
I mean, we haven't been because we just didn't know if it was different for cats.
Hmm.
The people brush cats. I have
Yeah.
never owned a cat before, so I really have no idea. We just let him do his thing, and he hasn't. I think since we've had him for over a year, he's only coughed up a hairball maybe once.
Oh yeah,
So
cats do that.
yeah, they do that, but it's
Yeah.
not. It hasn't been like a regular occurrence, which is nice. So yeah, I don't know. Jeanette said in the chat, don't be an asshole or racist. Heavy on both.
Period. Yeah.
Heavy on both.
I mean, they're
Uh
one and the same, but
they
yeah.
are. You know what? Saying the racist distinction is also
Yeah,
important.
it
So
is
we might
important
start
because
adding that
yeah.
in.
Hmm.
Because some people don't think they're assholes and they're racist. So
Oh man, the news. Are
yeah.
we talking about the news?
I mean, I don't know what to talk about. It's just so much. It's so much. I didn't put anything on the show notes. We can if we just want to have a quick little vent sesh.
This
But
podcast I listen to called The Black Guy Who Tips, they have a segment called now Politics Talk Until We Get Pissed Off. And they,
I
I'm
like
like,
that.
you know what?
I
Nice
like
segment
that.
name, cause
I really like
and it
that.
don't take too long to
It
get
does
pissed
not,
off. Yeah,
especially right now.
yeah.
Mm-mm. So yeah,
But
we'll circle back in my corporate speak. We'll circle back to
yeah,
that.
we'll see. We'll see what we have time for.
Yep. Julie said the puppy shedding is rough too.
Oh, is that the case too? I'm also looking into getting her spayed.
Mm-hmm.
Every pet I had them since birth. This is the first pet that I had where they were like 6 months. Well, she was
Mm.
about 6 months almost when I got her.
Mm-hmm.
So by this time,
Yeah,
oh
that
girl,
was a
would
good
have
thing.
would have
Yeah.
already been spayed. So now I'm like, I didn't think about that. It ain't cheap either.
I know,
So,
I
but
know. Yeah, it'll be one less thing you got to worry about down the line. I heard it's better for like health issues and things
mhm.
like that, especially if you don't plan on her procreating or
Oh,
anything like that.
absolutely not.
Yeah, mm-mm.
I'm too
No, so
young
yeah.
to be a grandparent.
No, period. Period.
Way too young.
Valid. I can barely handle my own child, my own children, let
Exactly.
alone being a
Somebody else's.
grandparent.
Yeah. Mm-mm. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we gonna work on that. I'm hoping to get it done after these trips in the summer.
Yes.
Fingers
Yes.
crossed. We don't have no doggy episode before then. Like, please give me to July,
Exactly. Just
please.
keep her in the house. Just keep her in the house.
Yeah.
Crystal said that's like cat dog, the cat
I
dog
was thinking
cartoon.
that.
I love cat dog. I love cat
I was thinking
dog.
that.
Oh
That's
my
funny.
gosh. Callie be getting so fed up with him. Like he just be wanting to play with Callie. And
Yeah,
Callie
he's younger.
does not
Yeah.
want to play at
Mm-mm.
all. So it ends up as a tussle. And Callie be she be doing the most. But they're like the same, and they're like the same size now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Actually, Charlie might be a little bit bigger than Callie now, especially since she got a haircut. She get real skinny when she got her haircut. So he actually looks bigger than Callie does now. It's crazy. But yeah, cats and dogs, I've never bought into the stereotype of them fighting all the time until now. I'm like, no, it's true.
Mm.
They can't fight. They can tussle. Especially depending on your temperament of your dog, they will tussle.
Yeah. But
Crystal gave a great hint in the chat. She said she needs to get her pup spayed too. The SPCA does mobile spay and it's inexpensive. So maybe
okay,
look
I
into
might look
that.
at that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her vet quoted like I might have to switch vets too because I feel like they are highway robbing me with the that tick and flea medication.
Yeah, it's really
Um,
expensive.
yeah, it was like $200 for like a 6 month supply. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can get this
Sounds
cheaper.
yeah, that feels pricey.
Yeah.
That definitely feels pricey.
Then they were like $400 to $500 for a spay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
they
like
be and you know what? We got pet insurance when we got Charlie because they
mhm.
offered it through like wherever we adopted him from somewhere, wherever we adopted from was talking to us about it. And you just say yes to stuff on the spot, and
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Mhm.
And we were paying for it for over a year. Obviously took him to get his like yearly checkup and stuff, and it cost maybe like 150, 200 or something for all the shots and stuff he needed. And then when I, submitted the receipt to them because they just kept saying, "Oh, you're gonna get like most of your money back," they gave us like $50 back. Girl, I called and canceled that shit so quick. Oh, this is not worth it. Like
And how much was it
$35.
monthly?
It was like $35 a month. But just for y'all to give me back a $50 refund, like absolutely not.
Yeah, it had to be like I'm only paying like $10 out of pocket copay or something like that
Girl, they
for it
was
to be
playing
worth.
with us
Yeah,
bad. So I
yeah.
called to cancel. I ended up just downgrading it to just like the emergency insurance to where
Mm.
if there's like an emergency or something, but I feel like we probably gonna get played then too. But hopefully there won't be anything. But I was like, oh no, y'all got to be out y'all mind. $50.
That's wild.
It was wild.
Yeah,
It was wild. So they be trying to make this money off of these pets. Okay, they know how much we love our pets.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's how they got me with that
Mhm.
$200 medicine. Like, of course, I want
Mhm.
my pet to have the best and be as healthy as
Exactly.
possible, but y'all
Exactly.
playing. Y'all playing.
All right, y'all. So we are back, and in honor of Black History Month, our friends over at Arch and Olive are sponsoring this episode. Arch and Olive cares a lot about honoring and uplifting Black creators and creative spaces. A part of their Black History Month celebration this month has been doing just that over on their Instagram account.
Yes, you can check it out every Tuesday or go to their Black History Month highlight to see their Black creator spotlights featuring Planners and Wine, of course, and so many other amazing Black creators.
Yes, and also make sure y'all check out their spring collection. It launched on February 19th. They launched 4 new notebook designs in B5, 8x8, A5, TN, B6, and Pocket, plus new washi tape and stickers to match each notebook. It's so cute.
And it is just perfect right now to transition over into spring. They also have other accessories such as pens and new memory books. Be sure to check out the new collection over at archerandolive.com.
Yes, and as a special exclusive for our planners and wine listeners, they let us know that their theme for their March sub box is going to be Nature's Curiosities, and that will open up for new
Ooh.
subs on March the 5th. That sounds very cute.
Yes, I love getting into spring. I'm so excited to get done with this winter. And Archer
Yes.
and Olive is helping us with our creativity to transition over. So definitely tap into that and make sure you don't miss out.
Yes. It's been a lot going on in February. A lot of good things. So I want to do like a quick recap of some of the stuff that happened earlier in the month
Mhm.
since we have not had a new episode. And then we can get on to a few more current things. I would like to go ahead on the record and say that y'all can start calling me Miss Cleo because I'm a psychic. I said Beyonce was gonna win album of the year. Okay, and she did it. Our girl brought it home. The Grammys did not play in our fave's face for once. So I feel good about that. I feel good about that.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
and
she
I
did it.
love that a Beehive fan clearly was the one who got to announce it. I
She
thought
was
that was
so
so cute.
cute.
She was
She
so
was
cute.
so cute. Yeah, that was adorable. Yeah, I was so happy for her. I literally screamed because by that time I was in bed because the Grammys was so freaking long.
It's so long. I
They
did
was so
tune back in when
long.
that came though. I was like, I gotta
Mhm.
know. I
I
gotta
gotta
know.
know.
Yeah.
I gotta know. I was like, exactly. And I wanted to see it like in real time.
Hmm.
But it was just such a great moment. And I think even she was just kind of speechless and
Yeah.
really hadn't prepared anything because they had played in her face so many times. But yeah, I think that I mean they just kept reiterating how they have like redone the voting system, how it's like 1,300 or 13,000 people, I believe,
Hmm.
voted in all the categories and stuff. So I definitely think that they are on the right track as far as the awards just being more fair and just more indicative of where the music industry and stuff is at the time. So yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to
it's
Beyonce.
right. Yeah, this album is
Mm-hmm.
right, although she should have had like four at this point, but I digress.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like wow, it was stiff competition too. It was
It
stiff
was it was
competition.
so stacked, and I would not have been
Yeah.
mad at anybody else winning, even though I really wanted her to win and felt like she really
Hmm.
deserved it. This is not one of those years where I would have felt like she was robbed because everybody was just so great in that category, and I wish that other people's fan bases could acknowledge it as well.
Also, it didn't feel like, well, damn, here,
Mhm.
kind like it was deserved. Like this
Mhm.
album, I mean, just the country of it all.
Mhm.
I mean, also
Mhm.
her winning country album of the year is crazy, but
Girl, that was so good.
the impact
Yeah.
for this album, like the discourse of this album, the amount of people,
Mhm.
like Shabuzi is nominated for Grammys and
Yeah.
stuff. Like for the people
Mhm.
that she had on this album, it's
Yeah.
just I mean, the impact is there. Like,
Linda Martell finally
yeah,
got the acknowledgement that
yeah.
she deserved. The other Black women in the country
Hmm.
industry have gotten the acknowledgement that they deserve. So it just meant so much to have that moment and to see that moment
Yeah.
and just to feel so validated because we loved Cowboy Carter. We could love Cowboy Carter before Christmas. Okay, let's throw that out there. That's very important distinction. And yeah, like it was a lot of BS going around after that for literal days
Hmm.
on TikTok. I
I'm
mean,
glad that's
Billie
over.
Eilish fans really showed they ass and just it was a lot, but the right thing happened, and
Hmm.
so I will take the Grammy seriously again for now, but they need to
Also,
tread
the
lightly.
show was overall good, although it took so freaking long. It was a
It
really good
was
show.
it was a good
And shout
show.
out to Doechii.
Hmm. I
Best rap
know.
album. She's
Shout out
so
to
adorable. I love
Doechii.
her.
Yeah, shout out to Chappell Roan, best new artist. Shout out to
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter, best I think pop album or pop vocal album or something like that is what she won. So I think the award show was very well rounded. Nobody really swept except for Kendrick.
Literally. In his Canadian tuxedo.
Oh my god,
He
he was
is such a cutie
so cute.
patootie.
Somebody was like, he's not beating the cutie patootie allegations.
No,
He's not.
he's
He's
not.
not. He's so cute and evil. Just like Myra, cute and evil. Kendrick is
It's
definitely a
the
sweetheart.
Gemini.
It's the Gemini. Yes, it's the two sides to you. One side is
Hmm.
cute. One side is evil. I love
But
it.
well deserved. I felt like
Well deserved.
nobody was like clearly snubbed,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well rounded.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Also in honor of Black History Month, the Eagles defeated the Chiefs in a spectacular fashion. Y'all know we are not sports girlies. We definitely not football girlies. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. The fact that Serena Williams was on the field for longer than Harrison Butker just really made me sleep at night. I slept so good that night, y'all. I was so satisfied with that game. It was
Fly
perfect.
Eagles fly. It's funny because clearly, like you said, we don't do sports,
Mm-mm.
but our husbands were like, "This game is over. Go to bed."
And I was like,
It's
girl, I
done.
was like, I'm sure. I was like, it's no way they can come back. He said, no, it's no way they can come back. I just didn't want to get excited. And I
Yeah,
did
for
not get
nothing.
excited
Yeah,
until the clock ran out. That's when, like, even when the Eagles started pouring Gatorade on their coach and shit on
yeah.
the sidelines, I still would not let myself get too excited because I just wanted to make sure that the coffin was in the grave and the dirt was being put over it first. I
Oh
needed
yeah, we
it.
was hammering the nails in, making sure.
Literally. Literally, that was
I
so,
don't think I turned it off until the
good.
confetti came down.
No, for real. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh,
Once it
this is
was
fun.
tied.
I get what y'all mean now. I get
I
what y'all
mean,
mean.
it
But
was so satisfying to watch
yeah,
because I just do not mess with the Chiefs at all.
they just
Um,
represent MAGA. And I know I'm not saying
mhm.
everybody on the team is like that,
Right,
but
right.
I don't know. When Trump on your side, I am on the opposite
Period.
every single time.
Period. I mean, I'm so
Every single
happy
time.
that Trump can't stand Beyonce because that would be really hard for me if he was like a Beyonce stan. I would be like, oh, I need to think about it. Like, I need
High
to.
key, he did not say he hate Beyonce.
He didn't say he hated Beyonce. He did say dance party with Beyonce.
Hmm.
He did, but we
He ate with
gonna
that.
we gonna take it as he don't mess with me.
Yeah, he meant it as shade, but
He
we
did.
turned that into a whole ass theme song.
He did. But yeah, it really felt like in that moment, like the Eagles was like America's team, especially
Hmm.
like Black America, and the Chiefs kind of represented MAGA in that moment. I mean, and then
Yeah.
they had that whole press run leading up to it, where a lot of them, including Travis Kelce, had some very questionable answers to being asked about Trump being there. I was already not fooling with them, but that really solidified it because I needed Trump to lose. I needed him to lose, especially since he was there and shit too.
Weird.
Mm-mm.
He also went to like some NASCAR race too. Like
Yeah,
what the fuck? What is happening? This country is just so unserious.
It's very
It's so
unserious
unserious.
behavior. It's very
Mind you, we paying
unserious.
for that.
Yeah. Yeah. While we talking about what we paying for and stuff. Oh yeah, of course we can't talk about the Super Bowl without talking about Kendrick and his amazing
Mhm.
halftime performance that really had the girls talking. And I just need people to understand when something is just not for everybody. Like Kendrick is just not, especially at the moment that we're in this, country's history. Kendrick is just not the artist that's gonna go there and just do his top hits and leave. Like that's just not who he is.
Mm-mm.
So if that was your expectation going in, then I guess you just really don't understand him. And I mean, I'm not even like a big like Kendrick fan. I really hadn't listened to him too much, but I even understood like that going into it. And I definitely was not surprised that he didn't do like all his biggest songs or anything like that. That was not a surprise.
It's funny because too, I was listening to another podcast and they were like, a lot of people are saying he didn't do his biggest hits or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but also they were like, if you go to Spotify for his top 5 songs,
Mm.
every one of those was played.
Mm.
So I don't know. I guess
Mm.
Humble was on there.
I'm thinking like more like commercially successful songs, like some of his more earlier stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah,
that's
only
what a
one I
lot of
could think
people
of that
were
was there was
looking
Humble.
for. Yeah, I think that's what more people were looking for because like No Swimming Pools, that was like a huge song for
Oh,
him.
that would have
No
been
Poetic
interesting though.
Justice, no, that wasn't there. So he definitely had some big songs that were noticeably missing. But he
Yeah.
did what he
It
wanted
ain't
to
matter
do,
to
and that's
me.
his right.
Yeah.
That's his right. Yeah, exactly. I didn't miss him. I really enjoyed it, and I love Samuel L. Jackson. Um, like his like
No, no.
narration through
Yeah.
it.
I say
That
that in my
was
head all day. Too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. That's how people think of this podcast.
woo, clock it.
Just us existing. People think that.
Woo, that's funny. Yeah, no, for real. Like literally, yeah. I love that he said he ate that up and he said that, and that was literally like so many people's like reaction to the halftime show. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
I
y'all
mean,
are so predictable. Like,
yeah,
just stop being
so
so
predictable. It
predictable.
was right there in the whole performance, and y'all
Yeah,
lived right up to it. But
yeah, yeah. Tisa said my husband is listening and dying laughing at you too. Hey, Tisa's husband.
hey,
Hey. But yeah, it was great. I loved seeing SZA. She was so cute. People were kind of speculating like was she lip syncing, was she not lip syncing? Do you have an opinion on that?
I didn't hear a backtrack on any of that. Even Kendrick didn't even have a backtrack.
Yeah, not yeah. I was kind of thinking when I heard SZA, it just sounded a little too clear for me. I feel like, but I didn't care. I didn't care. It doesn't matter.
I
But
had
I
to go
did
back
see
and
that as
listen.
something people were talking about, like
Yeah.
whether or not she was lip syncing. But it definitely sounded very pre-recorded. It did. It did. I love SZA down, but it did, and that's okay. That's all right. Everybody's not Beyonce.
Well,
Everybody can't give you live vocals and dance moves at the same time. Everybody can do all that. It just is what it is. So, but I don't know for sure. But I think she might have been lip syncing, but you know.
yeah, I had to go
Yeah.
back and I never really looked at it too much because I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, SZA.
It was a part of the discourse, but it was obviously a very small part of the
Yeah, because I
discourse
didn't even come
because the
across it.
girls
But
was
yeah.
fuming at Kendrick Lamar. Not they saw they think they asked me, and then Kendrick did that black ass performance.
Oh,
They was mad as
oh, it was so
hell.
good. Yeah, they
They
was
was mad
hot.
as hell in the time of the DEI rollbacks. They was mad as hell. So I feel very strongly that next year, they probably gonna bring the halftime back to white America. Is because I heard this might have been Jay-Z's last year having anything to do with it, or next year might be. I'm not sure, but I think the halftime show is about to take a turn.
Yeah, and watch the ratings dip because Kendrick ratings was the most ever.
I
More than the game
know.
itself.
That was
Yeah.
crazy. That was
But
crazy.
numbers don't
Yeah.
lie, and NFL is a
No.
business at the end of the day. So it'll be interesting to see who's up next.
Next up, a bit of sad news. Joann is closing like 500 stores.
Yeah, we
That's a
talked about
lot.
this, that they were
Mm-hmm.
filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Um, Dang, has it been a year ago at this point?
It was a while ago.
It
It
was a
was
while, but I was
yeah.
hoping that they'll be able to get bought out or something will be able
Mhm.
to save them. But yeah, there's 500 plus stores affected. Every single store in
Mhm.
Cincinnati has been affected. And I
Wow.
am
That's
devastated,
crazy.
which
Yeah.
is weird because I thought Ohio would be the last one because Joann headquarters is in Ohio.
Yeah, I would think so too.
But I guess we ain't performing that well.
Crazy. So I wonder after they close this many stores, like how many stores are going to be left? Is this like I have to believe this got to be the majority of their stores.
It
So
has to. It
yeah, because they're
has
closing
to.
the one by us too. So I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm wondering if they're gonna go more online. Also curious because when
Hmm.
Hancock Fabrics
Hmm.
went under, Michael's bought them.
I remember Hancock
Yeah, I
Fabrics.
love them. They have best
Yeah.
fabrics, but
Hmm.
yeah, Michael's bought them and did nothing with it.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if Michael's is going to try and buy Joann
That would be
and if they will
interesting.
do anything with it because
Hmm.
they still, I mean, at least in my Michael's, I don't have fabrics in my store. I know some people do, but I
Yeah.
don't.
Do we have? I don't know because I don't really go to the fabric
Yeah.
section, so I'm honestly not
Yeah.
sure. I'm honestly not sure, but yeah, it's just like so many things are changing in like the planner community and the planner adjacent community. It just feels like
Mhm.
the end of an era. Like no more Joann's. Like if this is the majority of their stores, like it's not gonna be long before it just fully shuts down.
Yeah.
And that just feels so crazy because I will just never forget the thrill of driving around your city, driving around your state, going to different Joann's and Michael's when Happy Planner had a new release and trying to find the new sticker books, calling them. Oh my God, that was
You
just
just had to
such a
be there.
time.
Yeah,
It was
you just had
so
to be there.
good.
It sounds
It's
absolutely ridiculous talking about it
I
now,
know.
but it was such a time.
It was
It
a
was such
simpler
a time.
time. It was
Yeah.
a simpler time. I'm glad,
I'm
because I know we were kind of late-ish coming into the planner community. I'm glad we
mm,
got to experience that part of the planner
yeah, that
community.
kinda heyday era of the planner
Mm-hmm.
community. I'll be interesting because with us going into these weird times politically,
Mm-hmm.
um, people tend to, like, do, like, more community-based things, and
Yeah.
I'm curious to see, like, in the next year or 2
Yeah.
how the craft community will be, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, specifically, obviously the planner community, but I
Yeah.
don't know, but, like, where you gonna get your stuff if Joann's closed?
I know. I know. I mean, I literally met a girl in Joann on the Happy Planner out. And me and her are still like cool, like talk on
Mm,
IG and stuff all the time, like to this day. Truly, it kind of brought us together a lot more. Like the
yeah,
Happy Planners, it really brought us together. So to not have that to that extent is just going to be really weird. I
it's
mean, I
weird,
just
yeah.
think this is the time for like the small conferences and stuff and the local meetups and stuff. This is their time to like really show up and show out and, really just make a new community because it's
Yeah,
important. It's important.
and I feel like we're craving it too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we need something.
Agreed.
It's yeah, but I hate to see Joann's go.
I know.
I haven't
I
seen
know.
any sales yet at the one closest to me, but I haven't checked any of the other ones, but
Mm. Speaking of going under, what's it called? Party City is about to be closed soon. I heard they were closing like the end of February. So this is
I
probably
need
like
to
their
look
like
that.
last week or
Yeah.
something. Well, Dallas said he went to Party City to get me birthday balloons at the beginning of the month. He said it was empty. And when I had went
Oh,
in like January, it was not empty yet. It was still a decent amount of stuff in there. But girl, when I tell you
dang,
they
it might be
selling
done.
everything, they selling the baskets, they selling the display things, everything must go. Everything. So
I'm sure the
it might
shelving and
still be
everything
something.
too.
It's definitely worth taking
Wow.
one last look. I might try to see if I can stop by there this week and just get one last little look
I wonder
at
if they
it.
pulled out any like Halloween stuff.
When I went there in January, they had out Halloween costumes and they
Okay.
were selling them.
I might check that
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
see. Those come in handy for the kids too.
I
FYI.
know. Yeah. They
Your
really
kids
do.
like to play dress up and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Get them on sale.
Exactly. Exactly. We got to talk about the Traitors, even though, okay, I have not watched the new episode that
I
came out
haven't either.
yesterday. I did read spoilers, but we don't have to talk
No.
about them. I really couldn't. I just couldn't help it. I had to just see what happened. But yeah, we can still just focus on the fact that Boston Rob is gone, and we're very happy about it. Yeah,
Very happy.
yeah.
Justice for
Because
Bob.
honestly,
All the Bobs.
and you know what? All the Bobs. And let's get real for a second about this season of Traitors, because I've been feeling this a little bit. And after yesterday's episode, which, like I said, don't worry about spoilers, I'm not going to talk about it. But after this most recent episode, I'm just really feeling my theory that a little bit, not a little bit, but at least some of the vitriol towards Danielle is racism. I'm really comfortable saying that now, because I feel like you can say that you don't like how she been playing, or you don't like her as a traitor or whatever, but the level of anger that these white folks got towards her online, it's not logical. It doesn't make any sense why they hate her so much. It doesn't. And
This
it's giving microaggressions at this
yeah.
point.
As a Drag Race fan,
Mm-hmm.
this discourse towards Danielle, it feels very familiar. It's very
Mm-hmm.
similar how the white fan base in Drag Race go after the Black queens, and they are doing it this season as they have been doing it every season before.
Yeah.
But they'll be like, "Oh, I just don't get it," and it'd be like something that's clearly Black as fuck,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's how I feel. This it reminds me of this with Danielle, because I mean, like, you could
Mm-hmm.
say maybe you don't like her as a traitor, but the way folks are going at her is just
They
insane.
going too hard. It
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense. And we know that racism doesn't make any sense.
right. So that's only
So
logical
that's my logical
explanation.
conclusion.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why they're so angry at her. Because, to be honest, as somebody who has watched every season of the US version of Traitors, this season as a whole of Traitors, the Traitors, like, their gameplay has not been good. I don't care how y'all feel about Boston Rob. I did not think that he was a great traitor. I think that
No.
going after every single person that says your name immediately after they say your name is not smart gameplay, and it got him the fuck up out the house. So you can't even argue that it was good gameplay. If he would have sat there and won the season, you have an argument that it was good gameplay. He did not win the season. He's gone. So where was the good game? Like, I'm not saying that he's a terrible traitor, he's the worst traitor in the world. I don't think he was playing well. I don't think Carolyn has played well. Carolyn has done nothing and given nothing. She objects to everything they want to do in the turret, but never has her own
Never had
opinion
nothing.
or her own voice. And she's so passive. She has let everybody else in there just run over her. I think she has just been acting oblivious. Like, I really feel like the other people in the house they do underestimate her, and they don't think that she is even capable of being a traitor, which is why nobody had been like suspicious of her, I think. But I don't think that that's a lot of her doing. I don't think that has been on purpose. I don't think that's because of her
it's
gameplay.
it's nothing that she's doing. She's just being passive and acting clueless, basically.
Exactly. I mean, and even if we talk about Bob the drag queen, I didn't see anything really drastic that Bob did when he was there. I think the only thing is, like, at the round tables, I think he was way too vocal. I think he should have laid back a little bit, but that doesn't make him the worst traitor in the world. But it also doesn't make him the best traitor in the world. I think that he probably would have been a better traitor had he had some time. And also, back to Boston Rob, getting rid of Bob the way he did was not smart.
No.
So I'm trying to see where Boston Rob's good gameplay moves. I'm trying to see where Carolyn's good gameplay moves. And so if we want to talk about
is it Survivor fans?
Yeah, I think it's I guess, and white people. I'm just gonna throw it out there. So I'm just like, so even if you want to argue that Danielle has played worse than them or something, none of them have played good. None of them have played good. I'm sorry.
It's funny because Bob was planning on laying low and not talking in that round table that Boston Rob called him out.
He couldn't help it. That's when he was got to lay low.
That's when he was got to lay
low. He could not lay low. So yeah, like, none of them have played well, but it's just the fact that the vitriol is just so much on Danielle, to the point that folks want people like Tom Sandoval to win just so she would lose. Tom Sandoval was the most hated man in America a year ago. And now it's people who are rooting for him as long as Danielle don't win.
Do they know that? Even I know that.
They know that.
Okay.
They 100% know that. They 100% know that. Yes. So yeah, that's what's been my source of frustration. Just the community watching the show. I just don't feel like Danielle has done this much to be for the hate to be this warranted. And I think by the time we make the next episode, they're going to be almost at the end. I heard there's only 2 episodes left. So it might be like 1 episode left, or they might be done by the time we make the next episode. Then we can really talk about everything that's going on. But yeah, I'm going to just leave it at the girls are big mad at her this week. And I don't think it's warranted. And I'm glad I finally made it to the side of TikTok, this like team Danielle, and who can acknowledge that she has not been perfect. She's made a lot of mistakes. Doesn't mean that she sucks. Doesn't mean that she's the worst traitor in the world. And she certainly has done nothing to receive like this level of vitriol, unless you're racist. So, yeah.
And that's why we root for everybody.
I mean, come on, y'all giving me a choice.
like now I have to. Now I have to, because at first I'm like, I didn't even care at this point, long as it wasn't Boston Rob.
Exactly.
So now I have to.
I mean, I literally got into the point where I was about to root for the Faithfuls because Boston Rob was getting on my nerves so bad. And so I wasn't even caring, but just like y'all are forcing me to be Team Danielle, because I'm not about to let y'all like dogpile and hate on this Black woman for what? And then, like, people in their exit interviews, even Boston Rob in his exit interview, talking about Danielle is the worst traitor, blah, blah, blah. But she made it longer than you did.
Clock that.
So, I'm sorry. Like, that is how it should be discussed. Girl,
I've been through with him since that Bob the Drag Queen moment. That was so uncalled for.
Done with him. I know. It was just, because it's just like, even if you want to say after that moment, you know, baby Boston Rob felt like he didn't trust Bob the Drag Queen. There's a time and a place for everything. And immediately getting rid of everybody who says your name is just not smart gameplay. It's just not. And it wasn't smart. And that's why he went home. Just because everybody's stupid doesn't mean he's playing well. And we said that a week ago.
Yeah.
That if these people were smarter, he would be gone. And that's why he got rid of the smart people. But even Tom Sandoval sniffed his ass out. I really just need to leave it at that. If Tom Sandoval knew he was a traitor,
he
wasn't that good. He wasn't that good.
Giveaway. How can you Dylan give too? He just ain't want to say it for real.
Dylan absolutely knew. He absolutely knew. Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk more about the Traitors. You know, hopefully, like I said, it might be done by the time we have our next episode. Then we can really just deep dive into the whole season. But y'all lay off my girl Danielle. Lay off Danielle, okay? Yes, she is dramatic.
Big brother.
Yeah, period. Yeah, right. Yes, she be doing too much, but
look, I mean, they gave us TV though. Her and Bob crying.
She is television.
I still think
Bob
about that
is
daily.
Television.
Yes,
that's what you want.
Yeah.
And you know what? Somebody who was defending her in the comment section, they was like, "See, all y'all folks begging for New York to be on the show. Y'all not ready for New York if you can't stand Danielle.
No,
you're not ready for New York for real. You can't handle New York. If you don't want people to say nothing messed up, if you don't want nobody to get cussed out, if you don't want nobody being dramatic." Then New York needs to stay far from this show because you don't want her. Because that's all her.
Wild.
I'm gonna go ahead and on the record and say that even though I've seen literally 1 episode of this season of Love Is Blind so far, it's a disaster.
Is it also? Is it episode 6?
Episode 6. Yeah, okay. I didn't even start at 5. I just started at 6. I think 7, 8, 9 or something like that has come out. I have not watched those. I probably just
was that today?
Notes from TikTok. Yeah.
Love Is Blind probably not about to be a show we're gonna have to talk about no more.
You know what? That And people have been talking about the lack of diversity on this season, which obviously is to be a little expected since they are in Minnesota. But also,
Right.
apparently, a black couple got engaged in the pods and they chose not to follow them. Another black couple.
Do we know if they still together?
I'm not sure. But they at least got engaged in the pods. And so we could have had 2 black couples to, see instead of just one. And they decided not to give us the second
now,
one.
Netflix, y'all know y'all be having slim pickings of people who actually make it out.
I know.
High key, at least one of them drop off by the honeymoon time. So why y'all kicking couples that get engaged off? That's wild.
Just show up, especially with this season, because this is a tiny spoiler, but I'm not gonna say who it is. Apparently, only like one couple even get married. Y'all definitely could have showed all them engaged couples. It was only 2 more that got engaged that they didn't show. They definitely could have showed them.
I mean, we could. Y'all gave us 6 episodes of the pods.
The freaking pods.
And y'all cutting people.
Yeah. Where we had to watch, I think a girl named Sarah, confront her dude about not caring about George Floyd and Black Lives Matter, only for her to still get engaged to him. Sarah, don't piss me off. I was rooting for you. Why would you do that? You don't care for real. That's called performative activism, sweetheart. Like, you wasted your breath. You
ain't gonna change no grown ass man either. So if that should have been the deal breaker, period.
If this is a whole storyline and why they don't end up working out, they could have really saved this. Because why would you get engaged to him knowing this?
Was that in Minnesota too?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It was.
You were talking to somebody who said, I don't get involved with it, and it was literally in their backyard.
In their backyard, girl. And then got engaged to him.
Sight unseen.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Sure, y'all probably don't care about spoilers because this season really sucks. But
I don't.
I also have a theory that there has been that this season is so bad that the producers manufactured some drama. I have a theory. Okay, here's the drama. So at the end of episode 6, since that was the only episode I watched, there was 2 people who got engaged. I can't remember their names because all these people look alike, but whatever. I can't remember their names.
Well.
But they got engaged, and then they had this segment at the very end of the 6th episode where it was like this. The girl was like, something about the guy felt very familiar when we first saw each other, and I really feel like he followed me on Instagram a few months ago, and I think he knew what I look like or whatever. So they had that whole scene of her like confronting him about it, and they left it on like a cliffhanger or whatever, right? And she was saying something like, oh, he had like this Christmas picture, and that's what on his profile, and that's what I recognized. And he was like, no, I don't follow you on Instagram. And she was like, well, I think you unfollowed me. And I'm trying to think to myself, how does she remember him to that extent? Because it's not like the producers are like giving her phone right then to where she can like see that he followed her or whatever. And so basically what makes me think that this is all manipulated and something made up by the producers is the fact that they are the only couple that actually ends up getting married. And apparently there was nothing to this theory.
Trying to convince me not to watch?
Yeah, I am. Actually, I am.
I'm done.
And so apparently it was a different guy who had followed her on Instagram. And I'm just trying to figure out, how would she even remember this random man following her and then unfollowing her several months ago to the point that she thinks it's her fiance and is confronting him on the show? Like, I think that was like totally producer made, and that's like all they made did up.
Was follow. They didn't have like any conversations or anything.
No.
Yeah.
I think that was made up. Yeah, I think it was made up because I'm just like, why is she so sure that it was him? And how do you even know he unfollowed you? Like, it was weird. So yeah, the fact that they other people actually end up getting married because it come to find out it wasn't him, I think that was bullshit. I think they just needed to do something. Yeah. Yeah.
I miss like Marshall and Jackie type.
Come
Oh
on, where's
my
Jackie?
golly.
Like, really? Like, take me back. Take me back to the Jackie Marshall and Josh of it all.
Please. Please.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Love is Blind is I think we're gonna get maybe 1 or 2 more seasons. I heard they already picked the season for the city for season 10 and they're supposed to start shooting soon. That might be our last season. If something don't shake. Because it's not good.
Yeah. It's
It's
not.
not good.
Mm-mm.
No.
Boring.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, y'all. Maybe once they have the reunion, we'll circle back to Love is Blind.
It's the corporate talk throughout all this for me.
No.
But yeah, we'll
No.
see. Yeah.
Did you have anything to say about politics? I know that was the first thing I said we was gonna circle back to. I'm numb. I am numb.
Damn, what was I can't think of her name. I think it's Joy on not the Read. Chill.
From
The View.
MSNBC. Oh,
No,
okay, yeah.
not
Oh
Joy
yeah,
Reid.
Joy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was very interesting that she got offended by the SNL skit with Tom Hanks coming in as the MAGA person. Have you seen that skit?
Yeah, is she a Trump supporter? Why would she be offended by
She's
that when she's
not.
a Trump
She
supporter? Because
was
they were
offended.
offended.
They definitely were offended, and Tom Hanks has done that several times when
Yes, he
Trump was president.
has.
But I digress. But she was like, "Oh, they made it seem like that's how all Trump supporters are, and all Trump supporters aren't racist." And I'm like, if you're okay with the racism that comes from that side, then you are just as bad as you are racist.
Are we still saying this in 2025? Like,
Allegedly. Joy said, no, not all of them are racist, and that's how we get divided and da da da. And I'm like, but you are.
You're already divided, girl.
But yeah, I guess it's not really. I guess that's politics ish. It's more of like
It's
the
adjacent.
the
It was,
fallback from
yeah.
SNL skit. But
This is why I don't really watch The View. I just see just clips on TikTok every now and then.
yeah,
Because sometimes they be right there. And then yeah. Yeah,
every time,
exactly.
every time.
Exactly.
Usually it's our girl Whoopi.
Yeah, Whoopi usually be tripping. Sunny be tripping sometimes. You really just never know. They got that one girl who basically admitted that she voted for Trump by accident that one day, that blonde lady.
That was funny. They're not
like,
too bright, huh?
It's
They
very
not
unserious
too bright.
show.
Yeah.
It's a very unserious show. But yeah, I don't know why she why and these
why
people
you
hate
for
them. Whenever they pop up on my TikTok, I go to the comments and there is just MAGA, just vitriol to them, Joy especially. So I'm like, why are you caping for them?
Wow. Yeah.
It's very wild. So
it's like, oh, they're not the people that were the hoods, but they were the people that stood around and watched what went down. Like, you're just as bad. Just because you ain't do the act. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here?
That's bad. But yeah. Because last time I checked, when it was people literally using their bodies to block Black children from entering schools to integrate them, it wasn't just people in hoods doing that. Joy, I can't. Like, what? That's weird.
Like, I feel like when you say stuff like that, you give people an out. You give people a way.
Oh, I'm not like them.
Yeah, to other themselves. Although, like, y'all are the same.
Yeah, because I mean, you have culpability in what we're going through now. Like I told you, I still be listening to those TikTok lives where they be like debating politics and stuff, and there'll always be somebody on there who voted for Trump, but be like, "Oh, I'm not hardcore MAGA. I don't believe this. I know he's a terrible person." You're just as bad, if not worse, than hardcore MAGA people, and you're just as big of the reason that we're in this mess as the hardcore MAGA people. Like, come on. You're not different.
I 1000% agree. Yeah. And the way that some people like to other it is just making it worse. Like, shame them. Boo this man.
Boo him.
Like, if you voted, y'all all on the same side. You don't get to be half in, half out. Like, no.
You have responsibility
Yeah.
for what we're going through. Yeah. Speaking of SNL, oh, there's a lot going on at that 50th anniversary special because they had
It
Ryan
was
and
a
Blake
lot.
there, and Ryan making a joke about the current situation, and Blake looking like a deer in headlights. It was just,
Oh, he did.
yeah.
Shout out to Deadpool because that is a very Deadpoolish thing to do.
And I think she didn't know that it was happening because she
Mm-mm.
literally was like, she looked shocked, and she's not that great of an actress. So I truly believe that she did not know that joke
Tracker.
was coming. I'm just saying, like, yeah.
That went
Um,
under the radar because of the MAGA stuff because I didn't see that.
Yeah, Julie said in the chat, Blake looked panicked. Yeah, big time. Big time. Yeah.
Yikes.
But yeah, y'all.
It'd be your own husband.
Every time.
Every time.
Sleeping with the ops.
Yeah.
It needs to be studied. All right, y'all. So, I actually don't have any like planner community stuff to talk about this week. I have fallen so bad off my planner like in the last week. I have just barely even been using it, to be totally honest. I know.
Nah, same here. I'm doing the
I
same
know.
shit.
Look at you, judge. But you know, in my defense, I told y'all we had a snow week this week, so I had nothing. I was not doing anything. I did not leave the house. Today was the first day I left the house. Since
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I have
So
no excuse.
that's valid. We don't need excuses. We don't have to prove nothing to nobody.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes you just fall off. Sometimes you just fall off. And I'm
Yeah.
like, is it time for a new system? Or do I need to just accept the break and then just go back to playing it when I feel like it again? I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'm accepting the break. I feel like
Yeah.
I've been hopping in and out of Notion a lot more, but even
Mm-hmm.
this past week, I just have not been planning anything. It's just been a wild week.
Right.
So
Right.
it is what
Exactly.
it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know who has not taken a break? TikTok and social media, because
Oh, we've been in everybody's business.
I mean, it's been so juicy too. I've been so sad. Okay, Lisa in the chat said, "Why not both?" She's needed take a break from our current planner and get a new setup. Lisa, you are such a bad
Enabler.
influence. I know. First thing we gotta talk about is the girls trip fiasco. I guess I'll give a brief summary of
Synopsis,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So this one girl, Tina, who's a content creator, she hopped on TikTok and she was like, she gave like an "Am I the asshole" scenario
Mm-hmm.
to where she was planning a girls trip with some friends of friends got added into the chat as well. One of the girls was not responsive in the chat really. And then Tina ended up putting down a deposit for an Airbnb that was a little bit more than what one of the girls was comfortable with. The girl never really voiced that though.
Yeah.
Tina actually had to reach out to her and be like, "Hey, I noticed that you didn't respond in the chat. Like, how is you cool?" You know?
Yeah.
And that's when the girl officially backed out of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
But then she had made a comment about not wanting the cost to increase for the other people. But then a couple weeks later, Tina reached out to her again and was like, "Hey, you mentioned not wanting the cost to increase to other people. Did you mean that? Because if you did, can you give us half of your portion or whatever?" And the girl said no and didn't want to do that. So, like I said, that's when Tina took the story time to TikTok, did the "Am I the asshole" for asking her for that. And plot twist of the century, the other girl involved, her name is Deja. She got on TikTok and stitched and responded to Tina's video because I feel like she was embarrassed, and I feel like she thinks
Yeah,
that
because
Tina was trying
Tina
to
was
call her
calling
like
her a
broke.
brokey. Yeah.
Well, Tina said she did not call her broke. She said, "I won't travel with people who don't have funds." Tina feels like that's different than calling people broke. I do not agree that that's different.
It's broke. It is what it is. You just did not use the word broke.
Girl, the semantics. People on social media kill me with the semantics. Just because you don't say
Oh,
something
they be down on that hill
verbatim
too. Yeah.
doesn't mean that you did not say that. Like, come on. She definitely called her broke. So yeah, so then Deja responded, trying to give more clarity to the situation, which yeah, she added a little bit more context. She had some screenshots showing that nobody was really active in the
Mm-hmm.
group besides her. The people was just like hearting and liking stuff and saying that Tina had really never gotten any firm confirmations about anything. But then Tina got on TikTok live and was trying to give her context, saying that, oh well, it was my understanding that if you were in the group is because you agreed to the trip, and it ended up being a decent little back and forth between them because then Deja was on people's live and they was all talking. It was a lot. It was, I
Well,
was
what did
sad
we
for it though.
learn?
A couple things.
I mean, we didn't have to learn this,
We didn't
but
have to learn this,
yeah.
but for other people, silence does not mean yes.
It does
Silence
not.
is not consent. I think that hopefully Tina got that from the situation, that people not responding does not automatically mean that they are down for
Mhm.
something. And I hope that Deja was able to learn that closed mouths don't get fed. And
You
if
got to speak up.
you have to speak
And girl,
up.
you seen that when she put in there as booked. That could have been your moment to
She still
reach
didn't say
out and
nothing.
say, yeah, it was a
Mm-hmm.
few days after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people like, and even her also being like, I don't want to increase the price for everybody else. Shut the fuck up. Don't say
You don't
that. Because
care. You
now,
don't
yeah, you don't
care.
care. Because
Yeah.
now you giving the impression that you're willing to put up the money,
And you were not.
and you were not. You did
And
not
you were
want to
not.
pay for it. So
Mm-hmm.
just say you can't go. And also another thing with Deja, she did reach out before this was booked to be like, hey, what we're thinking about as far as how much it's gonna cost. I had the budget,
Yeah.
da da da. Also, Tina, that was a flag right there that
That was a flag.
she was not reliable. So
Yes.
before you
Yes.
book that, like that still go back on you, girl. You had that whole
Mm-hmm.
conversation and still booked it.
Yeah.
You should have confirmed with
Yeah.
her. Even in that side
Exactly.
message, you could have shot her like, hey, are
Exactly.
you sure you're gonna be okay with this? But
Yeah. Because, girl, Tina was really killing me with the semantics. She just kept on her live. She just kept, because I was asking her questions on live, y'all. That's how I missed it.
oh, you were.
I was
I thought you just watched it yet.
I was like, why did you go on a? Why did you plan a trip with girls that you wasn't tight with? And she was like, oh, well, she was a friend of a friend, so my friend wanted to invite her. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Like, why did y'all even go on a trip together, or why was y'all planning it? And then like, she just kept harping on the fact that, oh, it was never about the money. I clearly had the money. That's why I put down my car. It was nothing for everybody else. We could easily pay for her a portion of it. It was no big deal for us. And then people kept asking her, so why did you ask her for half of her money back then?
It was
Why?
about the money.
And then she
Because
was like,
I would
oh,
have just
well,
been done with it.
yeah, because she was like, oh, well, she the one who put it out there saying that she didn't want to increase the body price. But if y'all didn't care about the money, why
Why
try to get
reach
the
out?
money from her?
Yeah.
And why are you mad on social media about it?
You press,
You
Tina.
was pressed about the money, Tina, girl.
But shout out to you because you definitely done made that Airbnb money back and then some.
She has. She has. And then Tina tried to be like, oh, well, she didn't care about the video. She knew about the video. She was laughing. She thought it was no big deal. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, girl, come on. You can still come on the trip because I done made the money for the trip now off of this video. And then all of a sudden, she gets on TikTok. Response. She was just so incensed that the girl got on TikTok to tell her side of the story. And I'm like, well, you put it out there and you embarrassed her. And even if nobody knew who you was talking about, she knew, and y'all friends knew who you was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It is embarrassing.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Maybe she didn't care at first, and then maybe her sister or somebody saw it and was like, "Girl, you broke. What's going on? You need help with your rent." And then
Also, consent can be canceled at any point in time just because she said, okay, I'm cool with the video at first. If it gets to a point where she's not, she is well within her right to be like, I'm not cool with this no more.
And then Tina was on her live and she was like, I wasn't calling her broke at first, but now I'm calling her broke. I wasn't calling her broke before his life. Girl, you was calling her broke this
the
whole time.
So
just because you did not use the word broke.
They always broke, high key. Because girl, she wanted that $200.
Girl, that makes no sense. If you did not care about the money or need it, it makes no sense to ask her.
Yeah,
Even if
because
she
it's
threw
just
it out there,
it's an unnecessary conflict.
it makes no sense to do that. If you don't care, you don't care, girl. All these semantics, it was crazy. It was so crazy.
I also learned don't travel with people you don't know, which
Yeah,
I
heavy
have
on
learned
that.
that.
Heavy on that.
Yeah.
I also learned this is gonna be funny. Don't get into beef with content creators if you don't want your business on the internet.
Because all of these are high key from content creators.
All of these are from content creators, and it's just like you don't have to put everything that happens in your life does not have to be everything is not content. Everything is not content. It because really the reason why these issues occurred is because Tina made it content. They weren't having problems outside of this. They were probably just a little annoyed with each other.
Yeah.
But the internet is what made it a bigger deal.
Because now you have all these different people's opinions
Yeah.
on how it should have went.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And even if you're sitting up here saying you wasn't calling her broke, your comments were,
that you
and
was
you
like
wasn't correcting them. Exactly. She didn't go to one comment and tell nobody, oh no, she not broke. She just didn't want to go. And I mean, you literally said verbatim, I'm not traveling with people who don't have funds no more. That's called you're not traveling with broke people. That's what you said. That's what you said.
Which honestly is valid.
It
Broken
is.
cheap people is my rule.
It is
Yeah.
valid, but don't try to say that that's not what you're saying.
Yeah,
It is because
that's
you know
what you
how
were
bad
saying.
it sounds.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah. And then apparently come to find out this whole trip, the whole purpose of the trip was content because Tina had a videographer and everything coming. So
They was trying to get the cheapest Aspen trip out of this, like period
yes.
point blank. They needed one more person, one or two more people.
Yeah.
And they did not care that it was somebody that they didn't really know for real. But
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay, the next word. We can't even talk too much about this next situation because we might,
So
people,
gross.
children might be listening
Yeah.
to this podcast. You just never know. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But this situation is where a person, I believe she's about 31, 32 years old from what I've heard. She started talking to this guy. I believe they met on Instagram because men nowadays use Instagram as like a dating site.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. But yeah, it was
weird.
Instagram.
Yeah, and they started talking about 2 weeks before Valentine's Day. And we didn't see the full text conversation, but at some point it was like the guy told her, hit me up next time you in Atlanta. Of course, it's a YN from Atlanta involved in this.
Hold on, first off, we gotta stop making random men from Atlanta famous. Like this man now has like 83,000 followers after this. It's been 3 days.
We do have to
stop making these random men in Atlanta famous.
Nothing good comes out of that. And that's going to come up in this story as well. So yeah, he told her, hit him up next time she in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And then on the very next text message, she texts booked, like she just booked her flight to Atlanta. And it just so happened to be that was Valentine's Day weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% sure about the details. I just know at some point she got a hotel room and he told her that he couldn't link up with her because he had his daughter for the weekend. And why did she bring this to TikTok? I don't even know why she told us all this.
Did she tell us the groceries part? Or was that discovered?
He told us. Okay. So yeah, so she makes a TikTok. Basically, I feel like this was like a F men type of TikTok or whatever, because she basically was like, this guy played in her face. She bought her ticket to go see him for Valentine's Day, and she didn't even end up seeing him. He stood her up, basically. So this man somehow found out that she made these videos, and so he exposed his side of the story. I believe it was mostly on Twitter, where he actually showed their text messages and showed that she was like very pressed and very stressed trying to meet up with him and link up with him to do some extremely sexual things with him, and sent pictures of throat spray. He was confused. He was like, what's wrong? You got a sore throat? And she was like, no, it's to numb my throat for other things. And yeah, it was just very embarrassing for her that he put all
2
that
weeks,
out
mind
there.
you.
They knew each other too. Because it was already embarrassing that she flew herself out.
Yeah.
That was already embarrassing. But the fact that she got stood up and then for some reason she decided to bring it to social
Julie.
media. So he brought it to social media.
That was literally all of our face.
Yeah.
This is wild.
It was wild. And then come to find out, because there's more characters that's coming out the woodwork. Some of the girl he was actually with that weekend, who isn't the first girl or his baby mama, was like, no, he did not have his daughter. He was with me during Valentine's Day weekend. She done entered the chat and told her side of the story. Come to find out, this man is like a major scammer. And I think he be scamming people or women. I'm not 100% sure. Everybody looks horrible in a situation that never needed to be brought to TikTok. Yeah. Because any way you slice it, the original lady looks bad. Why would you fly yourself out for this man that you don't even know for real?
Second girl flew herself out too from Cleveland.
The one he was actually with, she flew herself. Wait a minute, why do y'all buy what?
Imagine buying a flight to see a man
on Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
Why he wouldn't buy? Because he didn't buy now flight.
No flight, no hotel, no Wingstop. Nothing. He did not buy anything. Yeah, she flew herself out too. Because from her side of the story, she was supposed to be there the week prior. She ended up not being able to come because she had her son.
Okay.
So he was upset. So I guess this fill in the blank with this one. The people are saying he was mad at the first girl. So that she couldn't come the week before Valentine's Day. So he started like edging the original girl on to come.
Okay.
Then the Cleveland girl was like, hey, I can come for Valentine's Day weekend. Is that okay? And then she came, and now he has this problem. He has two people coming in.
Oh, so, and rather than just tell the original girl not to come, he just dissed her and ghosted her, basically.
Right, basically. I mean, Hockey really didn't say come. He just said next time, and
he did not tell her to come.
Yeah,
from
but
anything that we saw, he did not tell her to come. That's true. He didn't tell her not to either.
A lot of the messages are missing.
That's true.
Original girl says she doesn't have the text chain because she deleted it. Which, girl, I don't believe you. You came on TikTok to tell this story. You deleted the text.
And she talking about she about to go to T-Mobile or whoever her carrier is and try to retrieve it. Girl, don't waste them people time. Do not waste them people time.
The messages.
You don't have an iPad. All your text messages are on your iPad if you got an iPad too. Like
the Apple ecosystem is magnifique.
Don't text exist. She just don't want us to see them. She just don't want us to see them. Like,
which at this point, like, girl, what you embarrassed for?
I know.
It's all out there. What could be worse?
Yeah, because he exposed everything. Because I think it was definitely a combination of him preferring the other girl, and also the first girl did too much and might have just like freaked him out because she was doing a lot. She was doing a lot in them text messages. Somebody brought up colorism because the girl from Cleveland light skin and the other girl is dark skin, and
I don't really even know.
I don't think it's that deep for any of them, especially not him. Especially not him. I just think that
it just got caught in the crossfire.
It's too much going on.
It just got caught in the crossfire. He was not prepared, and his excuse was his daughter. Which do he have a daughter?
Girl, because at first people were like, there was no baby, because he said he had got a babysitter for his daughter. First people was like, there was no babysitter. His baby mama was with him or at his house, or something like that. I was thinking that he was really with the baby mama too, but no, he's an old chick from Cleveland. She done flew out. So, ladies, we not flying ourselves to these men. Like, come on.
I thought we already agreed to this.
I thought so too.
Y'all not holding yourselves accountable.
For
somebody on Instagram that's just flaunting. Like, you go to his Instagram, he literally is just flaunting money.
Yeah, because he's a scammer. He is a 25-year-old scammer, allegedly. And if he got money to flaunt, then he got money to buy a flight if he want to
He
see you that
does.
bad.
A Spirit flight too. No shade to Spirit, but it ain't that expensive.
No, it's not. If he can, or if he want to see you, why he not coming to you, ladies? Like, this is like dating 101. It ain't even got to be super traditional, but like, come on.
Yeah, flying out across state to see somebody you've never met before is kind of wild.
I just couldn't be single out here right now because that's too much. I would just be alone because there's just no way I'm doing all that. If that's what I
We
need to
also
do,
wouldn't be using Instagram as a dating app. So there's that.
Because then he did try to basically insinuate that she was like a catfish. Or was it her who said that she thought that? No, because he said that she was like, after they FaceTime, that's when he started acting weird. And it was like, he felt like she looked different on FaceTime than she did, like her pictures and stuff. And it was funny because all of her TikTok she was making, she had one like the bold glamour filter or something like that.
Oh, every single one. So we know that has to be what her Instagram looked like too. But but I mean, that filter ain't changing her whole look.
No, it's not. Like she couldn't look that different.
Yeah, no.
She could not look that different. But yeah, he had old girl from Cleveland coming in, and they probably been talking for 3 weeks. He was gonna talk to you for 2.
They were.
It was really only 3 weeks.
Legit, they started talking like late January. It's wild. It's crazy to me too.
Yeah, that's wild. That is very, very
to get
wild.
A flight, y'all can even meet in the middle.
I know.
Like he's not inconvenienced at all.
At all. And then it's like he ain't paid for shit. He ain't traveled nowhere. Because at least if you flying in, the least he can do is pay for your hotel room.
Oh, the original girl from Jersey flew in without a hotel room. Like she ain't had nowhere to stay technically.
Did she just thought she was about to go to his house?
I guess. I mean, he did say he had his daughter, so I don't know why she thought that. Because it was a whole fiasco of her figuring out where to stay when she got there.
It was.
That's insane.
Because my thing is, even if you think you just gonna stay with him, you don't know this. Because she even said her friends think she crazy because he could like murder her or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, girl. She's too old. People too old for this. Like, we not talking about like a 20-year-old. Like, this lady's in her 30s. I don't even know how old.
And she has 3 dependents too.
She does have 3 kids. Yeah.
Oh man.
Ladies, I need us to decenter men immediately.
Please.
Immediately. We gotta decenter men. We have to.
And these kind of men too. Like, if he was an upstanding guy, he would be like, "Hey, cancel that flight.
Yeah,
don't come here.
Yeah.
Like, let's get to know each other a little bit more first." I don't know.
Did you see? About 2 weeks ago, it was a situation where this girl was on TikTok and she was making videos about her gym crush and how he broke her heart. Did you see the whole thing? It was like another Black girl like 2 weeks ago. And she was like on TikTok crashing out over her gym crush because she tried to like make a move on him and he like paid her dust or whatever. And she was like crying and stuff on TikTok. And I took a screenshot of this comment because I just loved it. It was like, decenter men, please, is more to life. That's what I'm saying to
it's more to life.
Women.
It's so much more. Girl, it's so much more.
What?
Switch gyms.
Please.
Do what you need to do. Please.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot. Cause I'm gonna have to send you her thing because girl, that was like a whole thing where she was like they was flirting and stuff, and he was saying
were they?
Allegedly.
That could have been in your head too, girl.
He was kind of like flirty joking is what it kind of sounded like, because he said something about, you gonna be my baby mama or something like that, but it sounded very unserious when she said it. And then when she texts him to like initiate them like hanging out, but she didn't just say like, hey, I want to like hang out with you sometime. She spilled her whole heart. She was basically like, I want to be wrapped up in your arms. You my soulmate type of spiel. So even if he might have been interested, he definitely was scared off by that. Yeah.
There is so much more to life.
It really decent man, for the love of God. And y'all, you know, even though we
May
old
I
married
introduce you
ladies.
to adamandeve.com?
Okay.
Girl.
Okay. Something. And the only advice that I feel comfortable giving when it comes to like heterosexual dating is that the man needs to like you more than you like him. Period. Point blank. If you like him more than he likes you, that's a red flag. It's not gonna work out. It's not going to work. And you know, if you like somebody more than they like you, you always know. So
That's
yeah,
fact.
it's
Yeah.
facts.
I think that's solid. Solid
It's
advice.
literally solid. So I'm just saying, y'all. Decent to man. Tisa said, wait, the Gym Crush couple are not together. I don't think we talk about the same people, Tisa, because they was never together. It was an unrequited love. Okay. He was never her.
And you know she done switch her schedule around for when she work out just to make sure she there when he there.
Girl, you got to cancel your whole gym membership and let God forbid Planet Fitness, they not gonna let you go. You got to give them your firstborn.
Literally.
Before they let you go.
And your left leg.
Literally.
And maybe they will consider
it. Maybe.
Okay, so that's another couple. Yeah.
They was never a couple, girl. They was never a couple. But yeah, y'all.
Here in this segment of being in other people's business.
I love that for us. TikTok this is like better than the Reddit story.
Legit. Because I just woke up and found out that a new character was unlocked in the Valentine Day fiasco.
Bro, they can't take TikTok from us. I don't even want to think about April because I don't trust JD Vance to do nothing correct. It can't be over for TikTok. It's too good. It's too good. There's no replacement.
I'm going to say it after the show because it's going to be shady.
Okay, I want to know, so I want you to fit. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for listening this week. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all check out our YouTube channel, Planners and Wine. Make sure you subscribe. Watch the episode over there so you can see all of our crazy facial expressions. Join the Patreon if you're interested. Patreon.com/Planners and Wine for all the behind the scenes tea. Yes. And bonus content and our amazing Discord community. Shout out to today's sponsor, Archer and Olive, yet again. We love you guys so much. Happy Black History Month, guys. Myra, you got anything else for the people?
No. Come co-work with me if you are into that kind of thing.
Yes.
I do it just about every day. So twitch.com/ girl, go to my link tree. Buy Myra B on everything.
Like, we ain't got to spell it out. Just go to the link tree.
You'll find me.
There we go. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one. We'll talk to y'all soon.